this, what was brought to our lexicon almost a year ago by Colin Kaepernick and his stance, is not going anywhere. Now, they said Cap was doing this because he was a backup. He's trying to gain attention, trying to get social media followings and likes. Now you got two all-pros. Now, NFL, while you try to suppress Colin Kaepernick and whiteballed him, you got two legitimate superstars taking up this torch and running with it. Michael Bennett spoke to what transpired in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday. Skip, what we had here was a situation and think about this. I want you to think about this very closely, and even the people at home. Now, I saw three types of flags as that white supremacist or nationalist of alt-right or neo-Nazis. I saw three flags very prominent on display. I saw a Nazi flag, I saw a Confederate flag, and I saw a United States of America flag, all carried by anywhere between 1,000 and 6,000 of these men, young men, some older. What we know about these three flags, not only will people die for those flags, people will also kill for each three of those flags and what they represent. So who are the patriots, Skip? I'm trying to figure this out. Because they said, and I said it in the very beginning, I said, Skip, that flag does not mean all things to all people. And what we're starting to see is that sometimes people will say patriotism and it's hidden behind prejudice. And I think that's what we're seeing. And Michael Bennett says, look, I get it, guys. I'm a professional athlete, but I'm also black in America. I'm for inclusion, not exclusion. I'm looking at this, Skip, Saturday, and I got the volume down because I said, I'm just hoping, I hope Skip and I get an opportunity to talk about this. And I don't want anybody to cloud my mind or my judgment. And as I watch these men walk down the street, I'm saying in 2017, why would a straight white man in America have any reason to be at the forefront of a protest? Skip, the Declaration of Independence was written by who? Straight white men. The Constitution was written by who? Straight white men. Everything that this country was founded on was catered towards them. It didn't include minorities. There are no women at that table. There are no blacks at that table. There was no LGBT, no transgender at that table. So,
but by the way, you can't say they're straight white. I don't know if they're white men.
Yeah. Well, that would go against what they believe in then if they're walking down the street. But we'll get to that at another date and time. But Skip, everything has been catered to them. And Michael Bennett says, I'm for inclusion, not exclusion. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Colin Kaepernick, but hold on, Skip. That flag represents, and you heard all the owners and you heard the commissioner, all the brave young men and women. They didn't say anything about these not brave men walking down the street waving it. That same flag, because are there two different types of United States of America flags, Skip? Because if it is, I don't know about it. They were waving the same flag that flies at every stadium, at every at every arena during a sporting event. Mm-hmm. That was the very flag that these men were carrying down the street. And I have yet to hear an owner, I have yet to hear the commissioner or anybody of high authority, even our one president chose not to castigate these young men. But Skip, this is not going away. I believe more black men in the NFL will take this up because they're saying, look, we have a whole month devoted to breast cancer, and we should. We have a whole month dedicated to the military, and we should. We need something dedicated to these black unarmed men and women of color that's being brutalized in these streets at a disproportionately high rate compared to the population of the United States. Now, you don't, Skip, this is a powder keg, not only for the National Football League, for America. You see this thing is starting to ratchet up. And guess what they were protesting, Skip? A Robert E. Lee statue. And what did Robert E. Lee represent? The Confederacy, they were fighting for, the Southerners were fighting for their rights just like the Northerners were fighting for what they believed in. Well, I'm sorry that you and Robert Lee thought slavery was great and that holding men and women in servitude was great and brutalizing them was great. But nah, it's not like that. And I'm glad Michael Bennett. I don't know Marshaw's situation. He says he's been doing it. I'm not going to analyze it, but what I'm starting to see, Joy, you notice this? That every time a black man does something, we got to critique and analyze, well, what does he mean? What did it mean for those men to walk down the streets of Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 with those three prominent flags being waved as they walked by? I'm not trying to analyze Marshawn. He did what he did, okay. I'm glad Michael Bennett told you why he did it and what he's trying to represent.